Welcome to the Metro Monk Podcast, your sanctuary for self-discovery, personal growth, and emotional healing. I'm your host, Parag Lokande, a shadow coach, spiritual mentor, seeker, poet, and a student of life. This podcast is a heartfelt journey into understanding and embracing your true self. It is designed to help you navigate the complexities of the human experience with wisdom and compassion. Join me on a journey to self-discovery and personal growth as we explore the power of self-healing. Welcome back to episode 44. I'm your host, Parag, and today we are going to steer the conversation slightly in a different direction. We've often talked about feeling your feelings or processing your emotions. We've talked about why it is important, why we shouldn't suppress. But many times, in fact, for so many of us, this can be such an unnatural place to connect that many of us have forgotten how to do it. Literally have forgotten how to feel. In fact, forget about how to feel your feelings. Most of us are not even able to imagine what that could look like. Now, I'm sure you know why this is the case. So I'm not hoping to talk about things like societal conditioning or it being a survival mechanism, etc. You see, when you've numbed emotions for so long, you've actually practiced numbing emotions all your life. The idea of feeling your feelings is definitely going to feel foreign. And people often ask, what does that even mean? Like, what would it look like to feel sadness? Or what does that experience of feeling your fear actually mean or look like? For many of us, suppressing feelings became a coping mechanism. So over time, this suppression became second nature, leading to a disconnect from the emotional body. There's also often an unconscious fear within us that if I allow sadness or fear or anger to fully surface, it's going to overwhelm me or it's going to be endless. This whole situation is like turning down the volume on a radio to avoid hearing a painful song. Imagine a radio is playing in the background, but the music is so overwhelming or distressing. So to cope, then you slowly turn the volume down until eventually it's barely audible. So over time you forget the station is even playing or the radio is even on. And this is exactly what's happened with us. So now when we are asked, what are you feeling? We mostly imagine what that correct response could be. Or we often respond with a cliche answer like, I'm feeling sad, or I think I'm feeling guilty. But when you look closely at this, as soon as we have said, I am feeling sad, or I'm feeling guilty, we actually stop there. We end the matter there and there. We assume that, okay, I've labeled my feeling, which is the same as I've felt the feeling. And even though at the back of our mind, we can sense, we have this felt sense that that's not the case, we just move on. We just keep going. But in fact, what we've done is summarized or labeled the raw sensation or activation that should go along with that label. You see, when you look closely, as soon as we say, I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling guilty, we often believe we've already processed the emotion. But what we've actually done is intellectualized it. We've intellectualized the experience rather than truly feeling it in the body. what you're actually doing is thinking your feelings instead of feeling your feelings. You see, emotions are not a concept. They are raw, physical, or charged sensations that arise within us. It's a completely different experience than conceptualizing. So this habit of labeling is a form of mental shortcut to that raw physical sensation. It's like choosing virtual reality over the actual reality. When we stop at "I feel sad," we miss the opportunity to truly experience and release the energy that sadness carries. It's like naming the ocean without ever diving into the water. The real work lies in dropping into the body, being present with that raw charge, and it's often uncomfortable, and allowing them to fully express. So instead, what happens is labeling emotions gives us a sense of control, even understanding. It's a sense of understanding. But it actually keeps us on the surface. When you say "I'm feeling guilty," it's like pointing at the sky and saying it's raining, without ever stepping outside to feel the rain. We identify the emotion intellectually, but we miss the deeper experience that is happening within the body. The real essence of an emotion isn't the word sadness or guilt. It is the sensations that are in the body. Okay, imagine someone hands you a cup of hot tea, let's say. You look at the cup and say, "This is tea." So you've identified it correctly. But if you haven't tasted it, if you haven't felt the warmth of the cup in your hands, or the soothing sensation as the tea moves through your body, or let's say you look at food and say, "That's yummy." But the experience of it is not going to be the same thing, isn't it? In the same manner, when you label an emotion, you acknowledge its presence, and that's good. That's a great start. But that's not the same as feeling your feelings. What you have not done is you haven't actually sipped the emotion or allowed it to move through you. When you truly feel an emotion, lights go off. You drop into your body. You drop beneath that mental label. Thinking just stops. You escape into this timeless space, and you tune in to this raw, often uncomfortable sensations in your body. And it can show up as trembling in your hands, or the pit of your stomach, or tightness in your jaw. And these sensations are the language of your nervous system. It's like this. It's like the difference between hearing a song and listening to it. You can read the lyrics, understand the meaning of the words, but the true emotional experience comes when you allow yourself to be moved by the melody. By doing this, we allow the body to do what it was designed to do, which is to process and release that emotional energy. And bear in mind, this word "allow" is the golden nugget here. It's a certain surrendering to the emotion that needs to happen in order for us to drop into that raw charge. It's a permission you have to give yourself to surrender. Instead, soon after we've announced "I feel sad" or "I feel ashamed," most of us have been conditioned to either resist or analyze that emotion. When sadness comes up, we try to fix it, or distract from it, or rationalize it. They're all the same thing anyways. When fear arises, we try to push it away. But the energy of emotion is like a river. It needs to flow. And I think the reason why children are so good at feeling their feelings is their mental faculty is still developing. So they really cannot label or analyze their emotions. And it's very natural then for them to simply experience this emotional charge. Okay, now you might say, Parag, I get all that. I want to drop into that charge. I want to give it a go. But I just can't find that charge after that label. Or I'm simply not able to feel anything. Or like I was, like you might even say, I don't think there are any emotions left in me. You might even doubt that you feel any emotions at all. And this is completely understandable. This is like saying, I don't dream at all. In fact, that's not true. All of us dream. You might just not remember them. And you're not alone in this. When you've spent years suppressing emotions or living in survival mode, your nervous system has become desensitized to your emotions. It's like a muscle which has not been used in a long time. It feels numb or disconnected. But here's the thing, the charge is always there. And this is what fascinates many who finally reach into their emotions and figure out how much charge has been sitting there all this time. It's just that the mind's habit of labeling or analyzing has created a disconnect from that raw sensation beneath. In the next episode, I'm going to give you a process that you can keep practicing to expand your capacity to feel. But before we can unpack that, I want us to discuss about what does feeling really look like? What is the difference between thinking your feeling and feeling your feeling? So that's why I wanted to dedicate this episode towards this concept and to really encourage you to think differently, to really invite you to a possibility that you can move beyond simply analyzing or labeling your feelings. So keeping it simple, I just wanted to wrap up today's episode with that, and I want to leave you with this thought. The journey of reconnecting with your emotions is not a quick fix. It's a pure practice. It's a gradual reawakening of a part of yourself that has been muted for too long. And this is same as going to the gym. Just like any other muscle, the more you work with it, the stronger and more connected it becomes. Also, I can assure you it will not take you forever. Your body may even surprise you. I promise you that the deeper you go, the more freedom you will find in fully experiencing your emotions. You don't have to do it alone, and you don't have to get it right the first time. It's all about showing up, being willing to feel, and allowing the process to unfold naturally. You have to trust the body's intelligence. If it is making it difficult for you to feel, there's a reason for that. If emotions are not coming up straight away, there's a reason for that. But if you keep persisting, I promise you, you will get to a place where the body will respond. In the next episode, as I said, I'll share a process that can perhaps help you expand your emotional capacity, so then you can start reconnecting to these raw sensations beneath your labels. Until then, remember that your emotions are here to guide you, not to overwhelm you. So take a deep breath, trust that you're exactly where you need to be. Thanks for tuning in to the episode 45. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care and much love.